My name is Zach DeVries, kind of born and raised in West Michigan, always growing up on the water, hanging out, doing different things. First impressions of the new NXT 20 model were I really liked the new aesthetic design. Felt like the new boat really fit in with the rest of the MasterCraft family. The NXT series before had a very distinctive hull line, and with the new hip kick that they put on the NXT 20, it really just fits in with the rest of the MasterCraft models.
Personally thought it was a really sharp looking boat. Kind of looks like if you took the old NXT and the best way to describe it, I think, is put it on steroids. Kind of has a muscle bound look to it, especially up in the bow and in the hips. But as far as just total overall package, I love the boat.
So one of the biggest things that we always run into on the boats that we're using is we like to weight them down nice and heavy. And the biggest thing is getting them up out of the water and getting them on plane. And one of the things that I really appreciated on the new 2020 style NXT was the 6.0 liter powertrain that they put in that. Tons of horsepower, pops you right up out of the water and gets you going where you need to be.
You know, as boats get heavier and heavier, demanding a bigger, whether it be a surf wave or a wakeboard wake, you just need more power to get that boat out of the hole. So having the 6 liter as just a standard part of the boat is a big added value, I think, for this boat.
The surf wave was spectacular on the new 2020 model. One of the biggest things that I noticed was how steep it was and how much push it had. I didn't have any problem at all staying on the wave, and compared to the older style NXTs, I feel like there's just a lot more meat behind it.
Getting behind this boat, I was like, oh, is this gonna work for me? We'll see. And I was pleasantly surprised that this boat has plenty of push, especially being a big guy.
The easier it is to use a boat, the more you're gonna use it, right? So one thing that's really cool on the new 2020s is that they came out with that new OneTouch rider profile. So you can switch back and forth between different wakeboarders, between different surfers. You don't have to sit there playing around with ballast bags and trim tabs and cruise control settings, all that. You just click on who's going to be riding and you're up and ready to go. New interior layout's really good. We were going up for the day of testing and we came out there and hopped in the boat, wasn't really paying too much of attention, and the guy that took us out mentioned that we were going to be either looking at the NXT 22 or the NXT 20. And at first when I hopped in, I thought it was the NXT 22 because there was so much space. Tons of seating, but it turned out it was the NXT 20, so there's a lot of room for you there. And I really like the interior new cushion styles, so it's a ton of padding and very, very comfortable to sit in with a lot of great crevices and pockets to keep your phone and different items when you're on the boat.
Very noticeable how much more space was in this boat. It just felt more powerful. Everything about that boat just felt bigger, a little bit bolder, more functional. I loved everything about that.
So the wake was probably the most impressive thing to me. Being a wakeboarder, growing up doing that since I was 13, 14 years old, I'm always looking for that in wake boats nowadays. And riding behind the 2008 X2 is a great boat, but when you put a lot of weight in it, it tends to get very, very steep when you're coming at the wake. And I was incredibly surprised for being a 20-foot boat how rampy the wake was on that NXT 20. Just a great wake, great crisp lip, so when you're coming up, you can just boot right off the top, and you get enough time to think about the tricks you're going to throw, different transitions, that kind of stuff. Compared to the older style, like an X2 on a 20-foot hull, you had to be very steep, very almost like hitting a wall when you came into it.
I am in the driver's seat most of the time with my friends, so I had the opportunity to pull Zach out wakeboarding today. And I've pulled Zach in the past on the older NXT models, the NXT 20 quite a bit actually. And one thing I noticed with that narrower beam is the boat had a little bit of roll to it. So when Zach would make a real aggressive edge into the wake, I could really feel that boat list. However, with the new NXT 20 model and the wider beam, I didn't notice Zach really behind the boat at all. So from a driver's perspective, it was a breeze.
Had a ton of fun behind it, and yeah, definitely be top of my list in the future for a value line affordable boat to really get everything done that you need to on the water.